Hi, my name's Pippa Adamson, and about 6 or 7 years ago I did the Lightning Process course, and I had ME for around about 25 years and I got better almost immediately. So that seemed pretty exciting, so I became a Lightning Process practitioner, and what I'd like to do today is talk to some of my clients about why they came to do the Lightning Process and what difference it made to them. Sarah, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming, and I just wanted to ask you, for the benefit of anybody watching, what made you decide to do the Lightning Process? Why did you do it? I think it's 2 or 3 years ago now since you did it.
Yeah, it is. I suppose it was a number of things, really. One was that I seemed to be sleeping really badly, and that seemed to have just become a real habit that I couldn't shift. And then there was a sort of general thing that had sort of gone on all my life, really, and I'd never quite managed to crack it, which was, I either live life at a really fast pace, sort of on top of everything, doing everything, or I have a sort of dip and go, ugh. Within a few months, I'd completely cracked the sleeping, so I was sleeping through the night. I couldn't quite believe it, really. So that was really significant because, of course, it made me much less tired. Well, it's funny, really, because actually I did it when I wanted to bring a client along who had some major, what I'd call major stuff to sort. And until then, I'd sort of been thinking, well, I don't really need it. I'm pretty good at all this stuff, and I'm a coach, and I, live a really good life. And actually, it was really helpful for cracking some of those things that were consistent patterns in my life which weren't so positive.
October, November 2010, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And retrospectively, I know I really needed to change my life because some of the things that I was doing, it was a long way away from the life I loved or the life I could love. I was frustrated physically. Things were difficult because I'd had chemotherapy. It really knocks you for six.
Right.
I wasn't recovering physically as well as quickly as I had hoped, I think. I was finding that I didn't have the energy to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. And I wasn't actually quite sure what all those things were. So I guess I wanted some clarity in my life and I wanted some more energy. There was an immediate change. There really was. I'm finally getting on with all the things that I really wanted to do. I started my own business. Right. And I think that was one of the things that I really used the Lightning Process for, was to explore how I could do these things that maybe I thought I couldn't do and still be me.
Although I'm your mum and I actually know this story,
yes,
I'd be really grateful if you could tell people a bit about why you did the Lightning Process. What was going on in your life?
Well, immediately before I did the Lightning Process, I suffered from ME, so otherwise known as chronic fatigue syndrome. I wasn't really going to school, maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. I was very often ill for weeks at a time. Spent a lot of time just lying in bed, really, not having the energy or the will to do anything. The first day, or after every day, we were told to do something that we wouldn't normally do because we wouldn't normally be able to do it, and just to enjoy yourself and have fun, which we managed to do.
We did. Quite
happily. I remember even enjoying popping into Argos. So the Lightning Process must be amazing. Since then, I've been playing basketball twice a week or more for however many years, cycling to school, cycling everywhere, building my own bikes, playing lots of guitar, going on holidays, and I'm just about to go away to Vietnam for 3 months.
Yay.
As part of my gap year, and then I'm off to uni. Just things that I wouldn't have been anywhere near being able to do.
Yeah. So here we are. Thanks for coming in, Grace. It's really nice to see you. And my question really that I wanted to begin with was, can you remember why you did the Lightning Process, why you came?
Because I kept feeling really tired and I kept having lots of headaches and they wouldn't go away.
Your mum was reminding me that you'd had a headache constantly for 6 months.
Yeah. It's a long time.
Which I'd forgotten. That's a really long time to have a headache.
I had to go to hospital to see what I had.
Did you?
Because
And did they say you've got something or another?
no, but they thought that I'd nearly got ME.
Right, did they?
That's bad.
Okay. Just for anybody young who might be watching, when you did the course, which is 3 days or 3 half days, really, what was that like?
Fun.
It rather was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel really happy, and I can go wherever I want. I can enjoy what I'm doing. I can have fun with my friends. I can jump up and down.
Yay.
And be happy.
I found out about the lightning process through a friend of mine who had ME for 3 years, and she was in a pretty bad way, and a single parent looking after 2 children, trying to hold down a job, and just ended up really hitting rock bottom. And she took a chance on the lightning process, and she recovered within 3 days. Wow. Yeah, it was remarkable. And bearing in mind she'd needed to use a wheelchair and things before, it really was. And I myself was suffering with postnatal depression, completely exhausted. I just wanted to be in bed all the time, and really struggled. I mean, it was ridiculous. Well, it wasn't because I was ill, but it seems ridiculous. I was staying in bed at the weekends till the afternoon, and not feeling any benefit. Day one, I didn't feel any different, and I suppose there was part of me thinking, blimey, I've spent this money, and it's scary. It is scary. And then day 2, I think about halfway through, we took a break, and I remember going to the restrooms and just all of a sudden noticing that I felt different, and I felt happy, and it felt like something had lifted. And I don't know that it necessarily felt at that point that, like everything had gone away and life was all, but it just felt positive and different. And I knew then that, okay, this is working. And then by the end of the 3 days, my husband, who'd been very sceptical about it, remarked that he'd got his wife back.
Wow.
So it was quite a profound change, really.
I think remembering to use it has always been the most difficult thing for me. Sort of get halfway through a day and think, oh, God, this day's a real struggle. And then think, how about the lightning process?
Oh, well done you for noticing.
I really had an aha moment when I was coming back from a summer holiday and I'd been sailing, and there was a big poster up with a life jacket saying useless unless worn. And I thought, that's like the lightning process. And in fact, it's when I come back from those sort of longer holidays, sort of sailing or something, where you're in such a different world, and you get back and suddenly you've got to cope with home life and work and everything, juggling all sorts of hats. And it's remembering to use it then and really get that transition back into normal life.
Is there anything you'd want to tell somebody who was thinking about it, who wasn't feeling very well or very happy or very confident? What would you say to them?
If you do the lightning process, then it could change you, and you would just feel way more confident. You wouldn't be feeling nervous or scared or frightened. You would go for it, and you would be really well done.
So what kind of things have you gone for and done?
Well, I've got a solo, and I keep having to do the lightning process for that, and now I'm feeling really happy that I've actually got it.
Wow.
And I'm just going to do it.
So what will you be doing?
I'll be singing.
On stage?
Yeah.
Who to?
In front of, I think it was 200 and something.
No.
Tickets that have been sold, but every single one have been sold, so.
Really?
Yeah. And
you're going to be there singing in front of everybody on your own?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Exciting. That's really exciting.
The lightning process very much, I think, meets you where you are, and it's incredibly encouraging as well. Right. I think the way the process works and the way that you're encouraged to coach yourself, it's very kind. It's hard to believe when you read what people achieve after having done the lightning process. It's actually, if you don't know very much about it, it's actually quite hard to believe.
Yes.
And I think that you need to go in with a not necessarily, I wouldn't go so far as to say you don't need to trust it. What you need to do, I think, is to have an open mind and to recognise that all these people who are telling their stories, that actually that things have happened for them, that it has worked for them, and that maybe you're not some special snowflake, and that it's going to work for you as well. Okay. And I think that's really important, to just be open to the idea.
I think you need to have an open mind. You need to be prepared to challenge your own beliefs and make changes. But I think for anybody that is in that position that can do that, or believes they can do that, then absolutely there's no reason why it shouldn't work. I have recommended the Lightning process to 2 friends of mine and a young girl, and all of them have recovered. And that's been wide-ranging issues, depression, anxiety, ME, all sorts of things. Yeah, and I believe it can be used for a wide variety, huge variety.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about it?
For me personally, what the Lightning process made me realise was that being negative is really hard work. It's so tiring. It just destroyed me.
Right.
And I can see it in varying degrees of people around me, and how it takes a toll on each person's life in a slightly different way, but it's still, I can see it holding back people.
I just want people to know that it's not just about positive thinking. It's not just, I will think positively and everything will be all right.
It's not. It's, what it gave me was self-belief that I'd been lacking. Okay. So that's not cheery all the time. It's just knowing that when you want to do something, you can do it.